In today's video, I'm going to talk about 9 ways you can lower your anxiety levels.
Walking on, he's the walking man.
Oh, hi, how are you doing today? Just seen a little survey. There's only about 400 people in it online, asking if people are feeling anxious or how anxious they're feeling at the moment. And only 6% said that they were feeling no anxiety. It tells me, although that's just a small number, small sample, lots of people are feeling anxiety. The other thing to note about this survey was that lots of people said they're feeling constant low-level anxiety. And I have to say, I think I would fit in that category, a sort of permanent low-level anxiety. Not sure what it's really about, but probably to do with the state of the world, the pandemic, what's happening in America, what's going to happen at Brexit and all that kind of stuff, what's happening with the government and the economy. So I thought I'd just share with you 9 things that I think could help you overcome that low-level anxiety, maybe even alleviate some higher-level anxiety if you're feeling that too. If you like, this could be our sort of COVID club, lockdown club, whatever you want to call it, and we join together and try and do as many of these 9 things every day as we can. So my number 1 tip would be to get up, which sounds simple, but if you're on furlough or you just lost your job or you feel like you've got nothing to get up for, it's really important not to stay in bed all day or most of the day, but actually get up and start the day. So the first 4 things I would suggest are all slightly linked together. Number 1 is get up. Number 2 is similar, have a shower, get yourself clean. Number 3, get dressed. Don't spend the day in your pajamas, even if you're not thinking of doing very much. Get up, get showered, get dressed. Number 4 is part of all that too, which is to have breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. Don't eat junk, but start with a good healthy breakfast for the day. Those 4 things are going to give you a good start to your day. Number 5 is to do one thing. You might have a list of things to do and they might be causing you pressure or stress, and you're not going to do them all today. But if you don't do any of them, tomorrow will be more pressured and more stressed. So think of one thing that you could do, maybe a bit of admin, something you've been meaning to do for a while. Just pick one thing and attempt to do that one thing today. Number 6 is quite simple, although you really might not feel like it. But number 6 is go outside if you can for at least an hour. If that's difficult, go outside for 30 minutes, but go outside. Don't stay indoors all day. Go outside. Even though it's overcast, you might get a bit of vitamin D, but being outside will lift your mood. This next one is a bit profound, but do something for you. When I was at a very low ebb some years ago, someone asked me a question. They said, what do you do for you? Working for a charity, I was often busy out in Africa trying to save the world. You're trying to be a good husband to your wife, you're trying to be a good dad to your kids, always trying to help other people. But I was asked that question, what do you do for you? And do you know what? I couldn't answer it. I couldn't think of something I did that was just for me. And I know there's selfish people in the world who only ever do anything for themselves, but most of us are not like that. We are busy helping other people, but you can be in danger of helping other people and neglecting yourself. There's a small child inside you crying out for attention, and it needs you to listen to that inner child and do something just for yourself, just for that inner child. When I was asked this question, what do you do for you, some years ago, I took time to think about it and thought, what do I really want to do? Not what I think would help other people, but what would I like to do? And I came to the conclusion that I'd like to make some little videos, and that's how this channel started. So this could be a big one, and you might not do it first time, but ask yourself the question, what do you do for you? What are you doing for your own self-care? And if you can, do some of that each day. This next one is something you can do very simply, and I call it Eat Beautifully. I first heard of this idea of Eat Beautifully some years ago when I was at my lowest point, and I suppose I do it sometimes, but I never really thought about it. So the idea of eating beautifully is that you make a big thing about if you're going to have a meal or a snack. Actually really make a big thing about it. So stick a tablecloth on the table, have your best plates and your best cups and saucers, blah blah blah. That's the idea. And the first day I actually did it was the day that Leonard Cohen, the singer, died. I'd heard it on the lunchtime news that Leonard Cohen had died. I was reminded of his song Suzanne. Suzanne takes you down to a place by the river, etc. But she brings you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. Now I don't really drink tea, but what I decided to do was get the little individual teapot we had and a proper cup and saucer rather than a mug, and we did have some oranges, so I chopped them into little sort of pyramids, quarters or eighths or whatever it was, and put them on a nice plate. In fact, I got so into it I did actually take a couple of photographs of the tea and oranges, and I put the song on my iPod and listened to Leonard Cohen and his wonderfully uplifted depressive songs. But actually I quite liked it. Yeah, he's not known for the sort of jolly song, but I actually just enjoyed the moment. In fact, one of the pictures I took of the tea and oranges, I actually used a little app to turn it into a piece of artwork, so I really got into it. So the idea of eating beautifully, so not every meal, you've probably not got time to do that, but even if it is just afternoon tea or morning coffee or something, you're having coffee and a couple of biscuits or something, or is afternoon tea or something like that, just do it beautifully and get into the whole thing and make something of it. And it can lift your spirits because it's you valuing yourself. The next one is go to bed on time. Don't stay up till the early hours of the morning thinking about everything that's wrong with the world. You really need to have a better day, and to lift your mood you really need to have a good night's sleep. So go to bed earlier, or go to bed on time. I'll do another video about how to get a good night's sleep, but what I do is ease off the caffeine. Perhaps don't have caffeine after 10:30 in the morning. If you can, stay off the alcohol, or don't have very much, because although you may think that alcohol's helping you sleep, it actually disturbs your sleep later on. So it makes you drowsy, but it will wake you up later on. If you get a good night's sleep, you're more likely to feel that you can do all this the next day and get out of bed, get dressed, get showered and have breakfast. Hope you found that video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on YouTube and hit that red subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.